All right, hopefully this thing is recording. I'm here to talk to you about the dangers of recursive thinking in the age of AI. I wrote an article about this in a different platform. It's about a man named Jeff Lewis, who is a prominent venture capitalist who recently stirred the tech world with a cryptic video and a series of posts warning of the dangers of recursion. Though he never defined the term outright, his message did resonate with a lot of people, some of my contacts included. And one of the big insights that I wanted to share with you about that is when we fold our thoughts into themselves without end, they could lead us down troubling paths. So, in computer science, recursion is a powerful technique. It functions, a function calls itself to break down complex problems into manageable parts. But when applied to human thought, recursion create mental loops and psychopathy that offer no clear exit. So we question the system, the motives, and the reality so intensely that meaning becomes suspect and certainly erodes and patterns spiral. So Jeff Lewis posts a hinted, uh, but Jeff Lewis posts hinted at the existence of a non-governmental system that suppresses recursive thinkers, those who question too deeply, too often. And so some people viewed his posts of like, I mean, it was kind of like a critique of cultural gatekeeping or digital censorship. Others showed it others thought it showed Lewis others thought that it showed that Lewis might be slipping into paranoia. So there was two ends of the spectrum. I'll rephrase that. Some people viewed this as a critique of cultural gatekeeping or digital censorship. So some people think it needs censorship. Others thought it showed that he might be slipping into paranoia. Other friends thought he was a genius. So the internet noticed. So the users on X described this recursive thinking as a self-reflective thought that can become self-consuming. So some people were worried about him and his mental state. It often starts with curiosity and critical insight, but without boundaries, it can twist into obsession. So Lewis reportedly relied heavily on AI, generative AI tools, and some speculate that this resilience, sorry, some speculate that this reliance created a psychological echo chamber, one in which his thoughts were not just reflected but amplified. AI, after all, doesn't just respond, it mirrors back. It adapts to patterns, often reinforcing our assumptions and fears. So this raises a very important question. What happens when the technology does not challenge our doubts, but deepens them? Recursive thinking fuels innovation. It helps us break down problems into parts, find patterns, and challenges assumptions. But unchecked, it can become a hall of mirrors. As we stare deeper into reflection, we risk losing any stable sense of direction. So Jeff Lewis' example is not just about the mental toll of overthinking, it highlights a deeper risk. If we let our thoughts spiral out of control, we may lose touch with reality, not gradually, but all of a sudden. It's kind of like sinking into quicksand with nothing to hold on to because there's nobody there to help get you out. And so that leads to the next question. So, what are you supposed to do when you find yourself spiraling into recursive thinking? So, first thing you can do is reach outward, try to ask for help from people you trust, people that you know, like, and trust, people that you know are well educated on a particular topic. Seek diverse perspectives that disrupt your internal loop. It's called your pattern interrupt. Um, you can use AI as a mirror, not an oracle, not a Ouija board, um, so that it reflects your input, you know, but don't treat it as absolute. If you treat it as absolute, it becomes very dangerous. Number three, build mental guardrails. So incorporate fact checking by people that you trust and regard highly. Peer feedback and emotional self-awareness into your thinking process is also crucial. Recursive thinking is a powerful cognitive tool, but like any tool, it depends on how we use it. What sharpens our insight today can cloud our judgment tomorrow unless we ground ourselves in the world outside of our own thoughts. So I hope you found this useful. Subscribe for more, and I will see